Hi mom, and welcome back to this video. So I went to Five Below and I got some things. So we're going to be trying a bunch of makeup from Five Below today. A lot of it I got in $5 or less kits to see if any of it is good quality because it is affordable and it's a place that has a lot of like kind of dupe products and things like that. So we're going to see if any of it's good, but I am still hyper fixated on Squishmallows right now, and Five Below has cheap Squishmallows, so I thought I'd show you. I got Wendy the frog. Look at her, she's so vibrant. She's thriving. And then, you're not ready for this, okay? Girl dragon. Boy dragon. It's a flip mallow. It flips. That is so cool. I am elated. So like I said, I'm going to show you my little haul from Five Below's makeup section. I got stuff for mostly a full face. I didn't get any foundation or anything because for foundation they mostly have like Wet n Wild or LA Girl, and I already own the Wet n Wild foundation, so that's what I put on today with some Maybelline concealer and then an affordable powder. I think the brand is like NK by Kiss or something like that. I'm just going to see what is good, what is bad, what is ugly, what is maybe a hidden gem, and we're just going to have some fun trying this out. So I'll show you what I got. This is the shadiest thing that I got. This is this natural. It's called an eyeshadow palette. This was $5. I brought it home and somebody had put their grubby little fingers in it, so I scraped it off with a spoon and scraped off all the places where somebody had touched it, so hopefully it's okay to use now. This was like the only one I could find there, and it's an eyeshadow palette, but I want to use it as a face palette because there's a couple shades in here that could probably get away with for like bronzer or contour like this one, and this one could be like a face highlight, so I'm gonna do that. I also got some choices in lipstick. This is called Lippy Love 5-piece velvet matte lip gloss set. I don't know why it says lip gloss when it also says matte, but I think these are just liquid lipsticks. I'm really interested in like this like orangey terracotta shade right here, so that was also $5. I think this is all $5 except for this, which I believe is $3. This is a Wet n Wild Color Icon blush. I thought this was a really pretty like natural kind of shade, so I got that. Also got this palette from, it says Express Yourself eyeshadow collection from Giordano Colors. I think by looking at this to me kind of looks like a dupe for the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which I have not tried. They look really similar to me. So we'll see if this is a good quality. I also got some brushes, mainly because they were cute, not because I needed them. These were $5 and they have little sprinkles in the handle. So these might be terrible, but I got them because they were cute. And then lastly, for mascara, I got this $5 Wet n Wild mini mascara kit because I've never tried any of their mascaras and I wanted to see if they're any good. So let's go ahead and try them. So I think we're gonna start with the eyes. So I'm gonna try this Express Yourself. I'll do it. Didn't that used to be in a commercial, like an annoying commercial? Let me see if I can get this plastic off. There we go. All right. At least nobody touched this one. Am I right? So what direction do I want to go today? I might do neutral in the crease and then like a pop of green on the lid. So let's try that. Let's also open these brushes so we can try these out and see if they're any good. They look like they're gonna be a little flimsy, but we're gonna try. So it looks like we've got like, these are kind of very similar, like a flat brush right there, a little angled brush. If you're new here, I can't say blush or brush or blending brush. I get them mixed up and then they all run together. Then some eye brushes. These don't have any eyeshadow names on them, they're just the colors. So I'm gonna take this little brush and I'm gonna go into this sort of tan color right here. Okay, a lot of kick up initially, pretty powdery. We're gonna dust it off and then we're gonna put it in the crease. Did I bring a mirror in here? We're gonna use my little Tiana as a mirror. Okay, so this is barely showing up. It's got a lot of kick up, but like not a lot of pigment. So it's like barely darker than my skin tone, even though it looks like a lot darker than my skin tone in the pan. So I guess we're just gonna do some layers of this. It is layering up, but not in the greatest way, honestly. We're gonna keep layering it. She's gently pigmented. And I'm getting a lot of kick up in the pan. A lot of like powder is fluffing out from it. You see all that powder? Right there. We're getting somewhere, slowly but surely. Okay, so see how I did like 3 or 4 layers, and then you can kind of barely notice, especially when I relax my very hooded eyes. But next, let me find another brush. We use this little, I think this is a Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna go into this like orangey brown right here. A lot of kick up in that as well, right? You can see right there. And I'm not really being gentle. I am building this up. Like, I'm putting quite a bit of product on the brush. Let's see here. Okay, so that is just giving me like the barest hint of orange. It's working better if I like tap it on than if I blend it. Orange on my face. But this is a very gently pigmented palette with a lot of kick up. I don't know how there's so much powder coming off with these eyeshadows when there's no substantial pigment. That's what I don't really get, is how that has come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's as good as we're gonna get. Now, let's take this little angled brush and I'm gonna go into this like medium brown right here to like deepen things up. Let's see how this works. All these colors are kind of just turning into one unimpressive color. I do kind of like the shape of this eyeshadow brush though. Like, yes, it is cheap and flimsy, but I kind of like the shape of it. See that? Like, that's should be significantly darker than the rest of it, but it's just not. Okay. So now let's try a shimmer. I wanted to do this like jade colored shimmer right here. I'm gonna pick it up on my finger. I'm not expecting to be impressed by this. Yeah, she's a whisper of green. A whisper. She wants to be green, but she's just not. What a sad day for green eyeshadow. Getting powder all over my face. All over my pale face. Let's try the wetting the brush method. Yes, sometimes that can give you a little bit more punch. I don't usually do it very often, but if it's gonna save this little situation. So I'm gonna take this flat stiff brush. I'm gonna pack on some of that green, get it a little bit saturated with this setting spray. That can make your shadows, your shimmer shadows, stick better and show up more pigmented. Yeah, see that? It's still not great, but it's better than it was before. Honestly, this palette is trash. I was hoping that it was gonna be like decent, because you never know. Like, just because something is affordable doesn't mean it's gonna be bad quality. There's a lot of affordable things that are good quality. This is taking forever and it's just plain not worth it, in my opinion, even for $5. Like, for $5 you can get a Profusion palette at Walmart, which is really, really, really good. I love, if you want a green, their green palette's great. I've mentioned that a few times. The e.l.f. little $3 palettes, like the quads, those are great. So you can find affordable eyeshadow that is actually good. Okay, and I'm just gonna take that little slanted brush again, kind of mix some of the orangey brown and the dark brown and just run it on the lower lash line. I was gonna maybe try another color on the lower lash line, but I really don't think I need to. I think this palette has kind of proved itself to be a little bit of a dud. Yeah, that's like the worst eyeshadow I've worn in a long time. No pigment. No pigment. Let's try, so this is actually from Profusion, and this is an eyeshadow palette, but I am going to use it as a face palette, and Profusion usually has really pigmented shadows. As I said, I scraped these off. I'm going to use a light hand with this. I am going to maybe mix this cool one and this warm one together to get something a little bit more neutral, hopefully, because this is too warm and this is too cool. And I'm going to take it on this little sprinkle brush and I'm going to run it right in this area on my face. Yeah, as expected, this brush is really flimsy, but it was really cute and I wanted it, so I bought it. Oh no. Oh, I've made an error. No worries. we're going to take a fluffy brush and we're going to fix it. We're going to blend it back into the face and we're going to pretend like we meant to do that. So this tone, I can't really judge this too harshly because it's not meant to be a face palette, but this tone isn't really great for a bronzer, at least not on me. This whole makeup might be a dud. You guys, I might have to come back and try this as an eyeshadow palette and see how it works, because I'm not loving it as a face palette. Because some products you can get to be multitasking products, but some just aren't, and that's, I think, what's happening with this, because the tone isn't really right, the texture isn't really right, it's not great. Now let's open our little Wet n Wild blush. I do like the tone of this, it's very natural, and I have a Wet n Wild blush palette that I love. I don't have any other single blushes. This is my first one, so hopefully I'll like the quality of this the same as I like that palette. It's the Pac-Man palette from like last summer. Alright, hopefully this is good. I need something to kind of save this look. I'll do this little angle brush. I'm gonna pop this in here. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it. That is a pretty color. I might need to try it over like other products that work well, because it's kind of just mixing with products that aren't working well, so it's not really doing it any favors. It's got a good amount of pigment. It's not too pigmented and it is blending just fine, so I think that blush is probably the best thing we've tried so far. And I always just take like a bigger brush and tap out the pigment on my face so that it's really blending in, and kind of, this is just a blank brush with nothing on it, and then just go over it to help it blend in. So I couldn't find like a highlight that I didn't already have because they were mostly Wet n Wild, and I have Wet n Wild highlights at Five Below, so I am going to take this eyeshadow that I scraped very lovingly and see how it works as a highlight. It's kind of a little bit pinky champagne. Also going to take it and use it for its intended purpose and highlight the inner corner of my eye. Okay, let's look at what that looks like. Sorry. Yeah, this is just not a palette that is good at multitasking. I thought I could use it as a face palette because you can certainly use eyeshadows as highlights and bronzers and blushes depending on how they are made and the quality, but this just isn't the move. This is not sinking into the skin, so I wouldn't recommend using this palette as a face palette if that's what you were thinking, because these are really big pans for an eyeshadow palette. Maybe I'll try it as an eyeshadow palette and see how it goes, but not super impressed because this is just a little streaky. I mean, it looks better when you actually blend it into the skin with a bigger brush, but not my favorite ever by any means. I look textured skin. So we're gonna open up, hold on. We're gonna open up, that's the end of the sentence. I'm gonna tell you all my feelings, even though I kind of do that anyway on this channel. Okay, so I didn't bring in my eyelash curler and I'm too lazy to go get it. So I am going to see how these work without it. This is the Wet n Wild Mascara Kit. We've got Max Volume, Mega Length, Mega Protein, and 2 Mega Volumes. Let's try the Mega Length mascara. Okay, so there's the brush. That's what she looks like. This is the length. I might take one of the volume ones and go over it and see if we can get a little bit of both. So far, this is just kind of tinting my lashes. It's not really adding much onto them. Not a lot of winners today, guys. Hopefully the lips are good. I'm looking forward to the lipstick. So let's take this Max Volume mascara and see. Oh, that's what she looks like. Curvy, and see if we can build this up. Oh yeah, see what a difference that's making? That made a big difference. This one is definitely a little better. So let me put some setting spray on real quick. Got this affordable one from e.l.f. setting spray just kind of sinks in all the powders, kind of melts everything together, keeps it lasting longer, looking fresh. Let me see. Low battery. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, that definitely looks better now that we use setting spray. I look a lot smoother as opposed to as chunky as I was looking a minute ago. Now I'm gonna open up this lip kit, and I wanted to use that like terracotta color. Why is this so difficult? Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. So these are the colors. And really the only one that goes with this look I did, this very sad look, is this one. Does it have a name? It says Smoke and Mirrors Velvet Matte Lip Gloss. They do look pretty bougie for $5. I'm just gonna put this on dry skin. That's nice. Look at all that. Look at all those chickens. Okay. They smell sort of like fruit punch if you mix fruit punch with chemicals. This little streaky. I like that color though. This has been me doing my makeup from the Five Below makeup section. Honestly, everything was pretty bad. This eyeshadow palette may work as an eyeshadow palette, but it does not work as a face palette. I'm not gonna judge it too harshly because it's not advertised to work on your face. But I got it to work. It's just not the first thing that I would choose. I was really disappointed in this palette. If this is a dupe for the Born to Run, if the Born to Run is still available, I bet that would be like way better quality if you're into this color story. And this isn't a super unique color story anyway. It kind of is just neutral with some pops of color. Because I got it to show up, but for the amount of work that I put in, it's really pretty sheer. The mascara kit, I'm gonna have to play with this more. I think this mascara might be all right, but I didn't like the first one so much. The lipsticks were probably one of the better things. They're a little streaky, they've got some tack to them, but I do like this color, and they're not the worst thing I've ever seen, but we'll have to see how it wears. The brushes, I expected these to be cheap and flimsy. They were just cute, so I might use them for some things. I didn't mind the shape of this eye brush. And what else did we try? Oh, the blush from Wet n Wild. The lipstick and the blush and then this mascara were probably the things that were least disappointing, but nothing was like a standout. But I bet out of everything, this is probably the thing that I will continue to reach for the most, is this Wet n Wild blush. That is my conclusion. Those are my thoughts. No hidden gems here today, unfortunately, but let me know if you'd want to see a round 2 of this, if there's anything you found at Five Below or like at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General that's really good for affordable pricing that you think is worth the price. Let me know. Let me know your comments, what you think of this makeup look, how I was able to kind of make it come together a little bit, sort of, kind of. And if you like this style of video, if you like makeup and tomfoolery, please give me a like, a subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Don't forget to comment. Anyway, I gotta go. Okay. Bye, Mom.